streaming. Fuck. Okay. Off to a great start on my solo show. This is the No Domi episode. So I was like getting like all ready to do the show. God damn it. And my headphone cords are obnoxiously long. So like they got wrapped around the chair because I was spinning in the chair a lot. And like it took me a good 30 seconds to untangle them. Look how fucking long this cord is. It's stupid how long that is. It's like 10 feet. Jesus Christ. Why do I need headphones this long? So I could go take a shit while my like laptop's on the couch? God damn it. Alright, whatever. Like, I feel like I'm in the 90s with like all these wires. Like, I feel like I should be better with technology for the show because I got a lot of wires. Like, I feel like I have way too many wires around here for 2018. Like, I got all this, like, just a mess. Like, everywhere I look, it's just wires. Look at this. Just so many wires. Like, isn't everything supposed to be wireless by now? Jesus Christ. Alright, off to a great start. Oh, I didn't even post. Yeah, I know. Dom loves the posting. Am I even streaming at this point? Like, it says offline on YouTube. Is anybody there? Fuck. I already fucked it up, I think. Why does it say I'm offline? God damn it. Alright, let me restart. Of course, this is the first time this has ever happened. There we go. How are we looking now? Oh, I fucked it up. Back. Hopefully we're back. Let's see. I might have really fucked it up. There might have been a little and that wasn't anybody's fault. Like it said I was offline and then I refreshed it and then I came back online. So I don't know if I'm online right now. Ugh. Okay, it's red. I see a lot of red on the screen, so that's probably not good. You know what else is not good? Trying to do one of these goddamn shows by yourself. Jesus Christ. This is difficult. How did I do these? Did I, like, always do this all the time? Sunday was supposed to be this. Just me by myself, and then Dom invaded. Actually, the live streams were supposed to be me by myself and Dom invaded. And it just turned into the show because I got sick of editing. Like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to do it live. Well, why the fuck not? Alright, so I think we're okay. I think we're all kosher. Now it's time to post on Facebook for some reason. It does nothing. I don't know why I keep posting on Facebook. Maybe I get a couple clicks, but nobody clicks on these live stream ones. But I get it, you know. I probably wouldn't click on it, if I'm being honest. I am a very picky clicker. Like I hate getting sucked into clickbait. So not clickbait. This is great. Just watch it. It's gonna drive Dom nuts that I posted it like this. No hashtags. No nothing. Just fucking watch it. God damn it. That is the one thing. I realize this show isn't big. And I know that, like, people, I don't know. Somebody told me that it's not good that I make fun of how little views there are. But I'm just like, what do you want me to do? What do we pretend like everybody's watching? Act like an arrogant asshole? That's no fun. Oh, well. So, Dom isn't here. This is my solo show. And so far, it's not going so well. Had a hiccup with my fucking headphone cords, and then the YouTube was glitching and said it was offline. And then I refreshed and then stopped streaming, and then started streaming. That was the whole process. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. So Dom's not here. She is, I don't know, she left early this morning. Like, really, really early. I was like, where are you going? She's like, and she was like half awake and like she was in a rage. She was really angry. And I couldn't really make out what she was saying when she was leaving, but it sounded like she said, I'm going to teach that Marvel motherfucker a lesson. And then she just walked out the door. And then I get a text, not really a text, but one of those news fucking things. that pop up on your phone, and it said Stan Lee died. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. She also said, as she was leaving the door, she said, like, she said something like 95 years too late, and then slammed the door as she walked out. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's Stan Lee dying. He's one of those people where it's like, you think they're going to be around forever. He was like Betty White almost. We've lost a lot of those recently. Hugh Hefner was one of those where it's like, oh man, he's old, but he's got to be going to be around forever. He's got that much money, and I don't know, he's just that type of person. Mel Brooks is kind of like that. Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry was like that. A lot of times, I don't know, I forget that Chuck Berry was alive for the last, 10 years of his life. I thought he died, in the 50s. But no, he made it. When did Chuck Berry die? I don't even fucking know. Last year, was it? I'm going to... Shot in the dark. Let's see. I'm going to say 2016. Just a guess. I just fucking Googled 2016. When did Chuck... I love how the first thing I type in when did Stan Lee die? And it was like today. Why are people Googling that now? It's something you Google in retrospect. There's okay, I just want to see. When did the top results are when did Stan Lee die? Then when did World War I end? When did World War II end? When did Tupac die? When did slavery end? Just odd. I like doing that, typing weird things into Google and seeing what comes up. Chuck Berry died. That's what we were talking about. 2017. Okay, I was off by a year. I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was 2 years ago. Apparently it was last year. But yeah, Stan Lee died. I wonder if there are any, I bet on the DC subreddit, there's some people, cheering. Just, really happy, and everybody, being like, yeah, that's kind of an asshole thing. It's like, fuck you, I'm a DC fan. I bet that exact conversation is happening on the DC subreddit right now. Somebody is just like, thank God. Or something. And there's a big, moral debate going on. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. It doesn't seem like DC fans are, angry towards Stan Lee now that I think about it. I don't know. Who knows? There's probably wacko fans that are. There's weirdos out there that'll joke about things like that. Not me. I would never make light of Stan Lee's death. Unlike a little Mr. What the fuck is his name? Mike Francesca. I gotta play this clip. I saw this late, probably around 4 o'clock today, and I was just so excited to get to the live stream so I could play this clip because it's one of the greatest just old man doesn't know what the fuck's going on clips I've ever seen in my life. All right, here we go. Strap in, folks.
Eddie in Hoboken. What's up, Eddie?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up?
Hey, Mike.
For those of you who don't know, hold on. For those of you who don't know, Mike Francesca is a sports guy that is just has zero sense of humor. And he does radio out of New York and has the most boring TV show ever. And I don't know, he's the weirdest. He's one of those people that I don't understand why he is still on the air. I've never heard of anybody being a Mike Francesca fan. Everybody just goofs on him. So, yeah, he's a big sports nerd, zero sense of humor. People love to prank phone call him because he just doesn't understand. And the dude, all he does is just watch sports and talk about sports. He kind of reminds me of a barber almost, maybe it's because he has nice hair that he reminds me of a barber. So anywho, let's listen to this clip now that you know who Mike Francesca is y'all up to speed?
Did you ever meet the guy? What do you think of him?
Let's start it over.
Eddie in Hoboken. What's up, Eddie?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's
Hey,
happening?
Mike, Stan Lee died today. Did you ever meet the guy? What do you think of him?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee.
I don't know
Ever
who
heard
he
Stan
is.
Lee?
Don't know.
Okay, when I first saw this clip and he goes, Stan Lee, I thought he was going to think it was somebody named Stanley. I seriously thought he was going to say something about some guy named Stanley who? Sorry. But unfortunately, he doesn't. Let's continue.
I don't know who he is now.
Jesus.
Who is he? Who is he? Who is Stan Lee?
He was one of the creators of Marvel Comics.
Oh, who cares? I'm sorry, I'm not a comic book guy. Is that who he is, Stan Lee? The guy
He
who
created Spider-Man. That was his
Oh,
big thing.
created Spider-Man? Sorry. I never was a comic book reader as a kid. I apologize. Never. Eddie in Hoboken was up comics. Oh, who cares? Lee.
He was one of the creators of Marvel Comics.
Oh, who cares?
Oh, who cares? That is just, I don't know, I could totally see, like, being at a barber, and they're cutting your hair, and you're like, oh, did you hear Stan Lee died? And he's just like, oh, Stan Lee? I want to talk about the Jets. Who's Stan Lee? Like, oh, he created Marvel. Ah, who cares? I don't listen to that garbage. I think he, like, at the end of it, he realized that he just said, who cares to somebody dying, and that he was on the radio, because he kind of tones it down. He's like, what do you want for beer? I was never really a comic book fan. What a dope. He's so funny. I don't know if I can play him, but I highly recommend anybody watching to go and go and watch his prank phone calls. And not obviously he's not prank phone calling people, but he's getting prank phone called, and it's hilarious. He has like, I'm not exaggerating. He has zero sense of humor. He has no idea about like funny. You know what? Fuck it. Tom's not here. This episode's probably gonna suck. So like, if we get pulled by whatever radio station gets mad at us, fucking A. Let's listen to Mike Francesca prank phone calls. I won't like show the video. Alrighty, go. Oh, he also falls asleep often. Let's listen to this one.
Mike in St. Louis, what's up, Mike?
Yeah, I'm calling just to see what you think about this new commissioner of baseball.
Oh, Manfred?
Huh?
I haven't seen him do anything yet. It's a little early. I mean, they got to give him some time to spread his wings. Manfred's been around a long time. He's been through a lot of the labor wars. He's been through a lot of the stuff. He knows, where the
what this
bodies
is.
are buried. He knows
Manfred.
what's going on. Let's give him a chance to
I
kind
knew.
of be his
Oh,
own guy here. Let's, I think it's a little early.
I remember
to
the
pass any
MLB
judgment. Let's
switching
see what's going on.
commissioners.
Gotta
Guess I
give him
don't
a
pay
little
that
time
much
here.
attention.
Do you think he's gonna, maybe bring, some really neat stuff like 9-game series or, dead ball or anything like that?
What?
Yeah, like
9-game
changes.
series. Is he gonna bring anything in dead ball? Oh my god.
I changed the record books, things like that.
Hold on.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about, like
You
going to a 9-game World Series.
Why would we do that? Why would we do that?
He has no idea this guy's a prank phone caller. That's what's so funny about him. That's what makes, I don't know, he's the perfect person to prank phone call. Those are always the most hilarious people to mess with, are the people that just don't understand getting fucked with. It just makes it so much more satisfying that they just don't get what you're doing to them. Hey, we gotta finish this call.
Game, make it more
Why?
interesting.
Why would that make it more interesting?
9-game
Why
World
wouldn't it
Series.
make it more interesting? No? Isn't that what you'd like to see?
You called up to ask if they would change the series to a 9-game series.
Well,
You sat on the phone for an hour to do that. You really must have some serious time on your hands. Ryan, he's just
That's enough. Oh, that's great. I would love to prank call Mike Francesca. Even though, but obviously I have better things to do than wait online for an hour and a half for like a great YouTube video. That's the thing is he thinks that other people think like he does. Like everybody's gonna be like, yeah, that guy did waste his time, and nobody's gonna see the humor in it, and be like, you know, you're such a fucking old fart that doesn't get fun. Just talking about like sports. Ugh, shut up. Ugh. There's a lot of sports people like that I've noticed. And there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of people, it seems like sports and those like new 24/7 news channels have these people that literally I don't hear anybody say that they like. So it's either, I'm talking about like Nancy Grace. Does anybody like actively like Nancy Grace? Like I feel like everybody that watches Nancy Grace's show, all they're watching it for is because they have like blogs or some shit just to talk about what a horrible person she is. Like how is she on TV? Like how does she do good in ratings? I don't even know. Is she even still on TV? I bet she is. Let's look it up. Got nothing better to do, right? Dom's not here. This one's phoned in. Nancy Grace show. Guess she has a podcast? Isn't her show just pretty much a podcast? She writes books, too. People got to be buying the books. She's wrote, like, multiple books, hasn't she? Oh, I guess her show ended in 2016. Alright, I guess nobody likes her anymore. Fuck. Alright, that kills my argument. Maybe she had, like, 2 fans or something. Or, Bill O'Reilly, too. Like, I don't know, the only reason he, stopped doing Fox or whatever, because he did that, like, I don't know, wasn't he groping somebody or something? Who knows? Oh. That's enough of that, right? Let's get to the top hat of topics. A solo edition of Top Hat of Topics. By the way, because Dom's not here, this episode's going to be old school, where it's going to be another, like, 30-minute episode. Because I really don't have much to talk about. I'm traveling. I mean, can't wait to get to where I'm going, but, like, just dealing with airports, flying Wednesday. It's hard to do a show and be like, it's funny, goofing around when it's like, I gotta pack. Gotta, watch stuff for more of the show. I got, whatever. Anywho, let's get to the top hat of topics. And we got, clickbait? I talked about clickbait earlier in the show. So fuck that one. Already did it, right? Let's see. What do we got here? Doug. Ooh, Doug Funny? I'm assuming that's what that is. I love Doug. I think when I was a kid, I didn't like it. It's one of those cartoons that, I don't know, it kind of transfers well when you're an adult, almost better than when you were a kid. Kind of like, I talk about this with a lot, with Hey Arnold. If you think about Hey Arnold, like, why do you like it? Like, it's not really, really funny. It's not, like, hilarious like SpongeBob. It's not, like, silly and goofy. It's, like, most of the stories are very just low concept. Like, I feel like as a kid, I should have found that boring, but I didn't. And Doug's kind of like that, too. Which, I think because of the... You know what it is with Hey Arnold that, like, draws kids in? It's probably the funny-shaped heads. That's probably what gets it. And, like, Doug, it's probably the weird-colored people, you know? Talk about diversity. Doug was fucking diverse, you know? Let's make a live-action Doug. You think that would be... You're purple washing because you casted a purple person as a blue person. You think that would happen? I thought it was funny that Doug was just white. Wasn't he? He was just kind of like peach-colored. Or maybe he wasn't. I'm colorblind, so colors are tough. Casmusin is... What color was Doug? You know. I was hoping for a lot of audience participation this episode because, you know. I'm doing it solo. But what else is going on in the news? Monday Night Football was today. That was uneventful. I noticed something with football games. If it's like a prime time, Doug was a white guy. Cool. And everybody else was colored, but Skeeter was blue. So I said colored, but like that sounds racist. But I just literally mean they were different colored. Yeah, Roger wasn't his neighbors were purple, weren't they? What the fuck was their names? Dickholes. That's what their names were. What else about Doug? I think I had a little crush on her sister. Penny Mayonnaise was tan or something. Yeah, I could see that. She was a normal like skin color, but except she had like yellow hair, which didn't make sense. She was tan with like blonde hair. All right, let's go to another topic. We got the top hat of topics. Drinking games. I hate drinking games. The Dinks. That's what their name was. That's a perfect name for a neighbor. The Dinks. No, Flanders is probably the best neighbor, like in TV history. You think the Dinks were swingers? No, you know what? I bet the Funnies were swingers because that sounds like funny business to me, huh? Am I right? Casmusinus, I would understand if you left after that one. But yeah, drinking games are. I always hated drinking games. I feel like I don't know. If I want to drink, let me drink at my pace. I don't want to be forced to drink. That's awful. Nobody likes that. Except for, like, if you get handed a shot. That's cool. But, like, to sit there, I'm gonna watch fucking... I'm gonna watch Doug, and every single time they say funny, I'm gonna have a sip. What would be a drinking game for Doug? Doug would be... Every time you saw pork chop, you had to take a drink. Every time... Let's see... Okay, if Doug, like, talks about his crush on Penny, Circle of Death is a fun drinking game. Is that the one where you sit in a circle and, like, you have to sit... The person you're next to, you have to drink the entire time that they're drinking, and then when they stop, the person next to you drinks? I think I know that one. I probably explained it really horribly, but that was probably it. Trying to think of drinking games. Oh, Thunderstruck. I remember that one. That one we did in college where you play Thunderstruck and every single time they say thunder, it like switches to, and you got to chug a PBR or some kind of cheap ass beer. Something gross. That's one part of Circle to Death. There are a bunch of dumb rules where it's, I don't know. I think I've only played like probably 2 games of beer pong in my entire life. And one time I didn't even use like beer in the cups. Like the cups were just filled with water and I was just drinking on the side. So I don't even know if that counts as a drinking game. I might as well be playing ping pong and drinking at that point, right? Like it's not a pun. It's just like trying to. It's essentially like beanbags in the basement, right? That's the allure to beer pong. Let's do another topic. Every time, you could have a drinking game for this show. Every time we go off topic, you have to finish your drink. You would be dead. Oh my God, we're getting all the all the 90s Nick cartoons. Rocket Power could be the worst theme song to a television show in television history. I think, I don't know. Nothing gives me douche chills more than fucking "We Are Riders." On a mission, action, rocket power. What were the words to Rocket Power? Like at the end, it always like, I don't know. It's one of those songs that I only mumble towards the end. Like I know the first couple lines. They use water because no one wants to drink dirty ping pong balls in their beer. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, usually ping pong balls are not kept in a very sanitary spot. They're usually collecting dust. The guy from Devo did the Rocket Power theme. I could see that. Yeah. I could totally see that. It doesn't make it less awful or douchey. I remember thinking it was douchey that they called their dad Raimundo. Like that, for some reason, irked me. Who is the Hawaiian guy? Hawaiian guy was Tito, right? Yeah, I know. Yeah, and the shoebies. I think Rocket Power and Doug, I kind of felt similarly towards. Like, they were okay. They weren't my favorites, but I don't know. They were kind of fun. You mostly just watched them to get to the show after that. Me and Dom talk about that a lot. How, like, back then, it was so weird. You would, like, before the days of Netflix, you would watch, like, cartoons that you didn't like because a cartoon you liked was afterwards. Like, I remember watching, like, and they were usually back-to-back of the same cartoons. So I'd watch an hour of one cartoon just so I could get to the cartoon that I liked. Talk about, like, wasting time. Although, I feel like now I spend that much time, like, trying to find a movie on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, when I had, like, HBO and all the channels, it was just kind of fun because you could, like, there were shows just already running. You could just throw it on. Now I gotta, like, actively put something on, which is weird. It's not weird. It's just, like, I'm not very good at it. Like, sometimes I just want something on in the background so I could space out and, like, fuck around on my computer and, like, half-ass watch. Seems like you can't do that nowadays. Or at least I don't. I don't know. Maybe I should get cable back. But, like, man, every single time I watch, like, a football game or something on TV and there's, like, a commercial, it's just like, God, I don't miss this, like, fucking at all. Netflix is so shit lately. Yeah, Netflix is kind of, like, bone dry. I find more stuff on Amazon Prime. I think that one I watch the most movies. Second most is Hulu. But yeah, I feel like I can never find anything to watch on Netflix. I feel like Netflix has better original content. Like, it's good to go if you want to watch a movie that's, like, just made. Like, you know, one that should be in theaters. There's, like, I don't know. Some people think Netflix is going to become, like straight to DVD, where they don't think it's going to do good in the movies, like in the theaters. So they just, let's force it out on Netflix. Which I could see, except the Coen brothers are doing a Netflix movie and fucking Scorsese is doing a Netflix movie, so that doesn't make much sense. I don't know. But I don't think the Coen brother, I know that Netflix paid, like, Scorsese, but I think the Coen brother one, they just kind of bought and just decided to premiere it. Kind of, like, I don't know. Because most of the Coen brother movies, I found out recently, don't do well in the box office. They're really, really, like, it seems like when you look in their IMDb trivia, they're all flops. And, like, even Tarantino I don't think does really good. I know Wes Anderson, I think Tarantino does good. Wes Anderson does not do good in the box office. That's why, like, I think Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs. I said Isle of Dogs. But Isle of Dogs is, I think it got, like, limited release, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Well, I live in LA, so we get all the movies out here. But I don't know. Did it? Who knows? That was supposed to be about Rocket Power, and it ended up talking about fucking Wes Anderson and box office. What would you do if you had to go to prison? If I had to go to prison, I'm gonna put that one back. Because I think that one would be fun for Dom. We'll put Doug and Rocket Power back too. If I had to go to prison, The funny thing is, like, I wrote a lot of these, and a lot of times I go, like, why did I write that? Like, where did I think that conversation was going to go? But I think if I was in prison, my first move would be to, like, I would think I would want to be in solitary confinement. Like, I don't think I would want a cellmate. I think that's when it gets a little weird. I kind of feel like I'd be okay just by myself, like, in my own little, like, cubby, and they let me outside for 30 minutes. And then, like, I don't know, if I want a book or something, the like, mole man comes on. Like, I feel like I prefer that. Like, shouldn't that be, like, a suite in prison instead of the cellmate? Like, I don't know. Try, because, like, didn't Dahmer, that's how Dahmer died, was he was in solitary confinement, and he essentially was like, yeah, I'm going nuts in there, just put me in Gen Pop. And, like, they're like, you know, they're probably going to kill you. And he's like, yeah, he kind of figured. He just did it anyway. So, yeah, I would try to, I don't know. Maybe I would get like tuberculosis before I go in, so they have to give me my own cell. Some kind of like bad disease that I'll give myself polio or something. All right, let's do another one. Like bunched up. Let's see. No. Dom does this, by the way. She'll put ones back. James Bond. I always found James Bond movies kind of overrated. I've never really seen one that I've actually like thought was good. I think they're all just kind of like there, right? Like the older ones are way too dated nowadays. Like, I don't know. They're really, really slow at times. And I find him kind of irritating. Just like a cool dude all the time. Like bullshit. I kind of want to see you like get hurt. I don't know. I haven't seen Skyfall though, which everybody says is great. I think I've seen like bits and pieces of it. I think Casino Royale, I don't know why people think that's a good movie. It's really boring. It's just, I don't know. I think the James Bond movies that I really got into when I was younger were the Pierce Brosnan ones, which everybody says suck. But those are the ones like I've actually seen probably the most. And I thought they were all right. I like Skyfall. It's the only Bond film he's seen. Yeah, trying to think of like an old one. I remember one time I thought I was into James Bond. I was a little kid, and I went to Hollywood Video Rental, and I rented. I looked at all the James Bond movies, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick one, and I picked Moonraker, which if you look up any James Bond list, Moonraker is always at the bottom. And it's because it's fucking James Bond in space. And I watched it. And maybe that's why I don't like James Bond that much. Is because my only like memory as a child was accidentally renting Moonraker. and it ends. I remember the ending very well because I was like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. So I don't know if Jaws, there's a character in James Bond, his name is Jaws. Here, let me look up an image of him. And he has these like steel teeth. And at one point in the movie, he bites through James Bond is on like a ski lift cable car thing, and Jaws bites through the cable and like drops James Bond or something. And I've only seen this when I was a little kid, and I don't remember like everything about it. Let's see, Jaws, James Bond. But the entire, how many movies is he in? Because I feel like he's in multiple. Okay, he's in 2. He's in The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker. So in Moonraker, here, let me show you images. The way Moonraker ends is he goes, oh, he's the guy from fucking Happy Gilmore. That like giant guy that Shooter McGavin shot the ball on his foot. Remember that scene? But he kind of looks like a like Quentin Tarantino almost. But he's a secret agent with cool gadgets and high functioning alcoholism. That's pretty accurate. Yeah. So the way Moonraker ends is James Bond goes to this like space station, like in space, and he fights all these people, and it ends with like Moonraker or Jaws falling in love with this girl, and they live on this space station happily ever after as they wave to James Bond as he like goes back to Earth. It's the most bizarre thing. Like I barely remember the movie. I think like the Austin Powers, like the sharks with the laser beams on their heads. Like I think that's based off of something that happened in Moonraker, if I remember correctly. Anywho, so we're at 35 minutes. I think I'm gonna do one more. Like I said, this is an old school fucking live stream where we do 38 minutes. Which the reason that started was because we did 2, and it just so happened to end at 38 minutes. So we're like, all right, that's the time. Movies you'd like to see made into a ride. Oh, that's a good one. Oh my god. Ooh, okay. How about Django Unchained the ride? No. Schindler's List the ride? No. It seems like there hasn't been a good like movie ride adaptation in a while. It seems like they make them a lot of like because Universal doesn't have very good properties. If I'm being honest, like Twister was a ride for forever, even though that movie is awful. And didn't they have like a Backdraft show at one point for long after like people even knew what the fuck Backdraft was? And even like I think last year they got rid of their Fear Factor show, which when was the last time like Fear Factor was even relevant? Like the only reason why Fear Factor is relevant nowadays is because Joe Rogan is so big. But trying to think of like a recent movie that I don't even know because I don't watch like the big blockbusters. Usually they're based on that. What about like I don't know. How about with a fucking Mad Max ride? That would be cool. One of those like Universal like 3D Mad Max, you know, through the desert on the cars. It'd be like Fast and Furious, but better because it's a better property. That would be cool. How about I mean, we got Star Wars rides. The Indiana Jones ride is pretty good. I would kind of like a roller coaster based off of the Temple of Doom thing. I don't know. It's close to the one in Disneyland. Ooh, how about... Ooh, I got a good one. Goodwill Hunting, the ride. That would be a blast. That's stupid. All right. It's 38 minutes. That's the show. I'm gonna call it a show here early because it's just me and I really don't have anything to talk about and I have better things to do. Just kidding. But I will have better things to do next week. So no shows next week. See ya in 2 weeks. Next Sunday, I guess it is. Like and subscribe and do all that.